Hello, hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi guys,
What's
hi
Greetings.
guys.
happening?
What's up? I'm
We've
already
already
getting
got a message
messages.
from a guy that message.
Wow, yeah.
So me
He's
and
like,
Nishant got a message saying that I was waiting. You will share the link and join YouTube, but why is it not started? It's already 6:01. So Nishant, your call messed up.
I know, man. I cannot mess up in life now. It seems there are people watching over me. I'm so glad.
Let me change my ambience a little.
Okay, let's say hello
Hi
to
dears.
Goose.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, dear.
dear.
What's up?
Today is going to be a
Good
really,
night.
really important one. So please, everybody, share as much as you can
Mm.
because we're going to be talking about Rekordbox. I
Yeah.
just FYI,
Hi,
I still
guys,
don't know
Vivians.
how to, you know,
What?
share the thingy properly.
Oh, crap. It's been almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's one question which I still haven't got the answer to.
Yeah, life. Okay, okay, okay.
This time I've got another computer for me, so I'll just figure it out in this computer only. So
So,
today's
what are we
topic
doing today?
is Rekordbox. As we all know, Rekordbox 6 at 6.
Very good.
Nishank, you wanna say something about the whole thing and then we start off? You wanna introduce
नमस्कार
today?
दिव्य सज्जनों, आप सभी श्रोताओं का हार्दिक स्वागत है आज के इस प्रसारण के अंदर जिसके समक्ष हम ये सब डिस्कस करें आई माय गॉड आई यूज द
Vartalap.
एस वर्ड एंड आई सेड डिस्कस्ड आज का वार्तालाप प्रभावित है एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन तकनीक के ऊपर जिसको
आधुनिक तकनीक
आधुनिक तकनीक जिससे कि आप अपने श्रोताओं का मन
संगीत
और धड़कन थिरका सकते हैं संगीत के द्वारा अगर आप अपने आप को बहुत बेहतरीन तरीका व्हाट इज तरीका इन इन हिंदी यू गेट द
तरीका है
आइडिया
जिंदगी तरीका है
आपको
जिंदगी
यह नो तरीका इज उर्दू
अच्छा ओके
या
ठीक है
आपको पता चल ही गया होगा हम किस विषय के बारे में
बारे में
चर्चा कर
चर्चा कर
रहे
रहे हैं
हैं तो इसीलिए हम शुरू करते हैं अंताक्षरी लेके प्रभु का नाम बोलो whatever 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 बोलो
ओके लेट्स
devil
डू इट
Satan and hey Anthony sorry Vivian Kiran Abhi Rakesh Garth is there Naveen Kailash Amit and Chintu क्या है सरजो ओके and lucky boy Minmoy चलो सो हम लोग शुरू करने वाले हैं आज वेल वेट Akhil the Rija is online I don't see him
No, no, no. You speaking in Hindi.
अच्छा wow okay so I think we are gonna carry this on in English being the common the
Yes.
understood language as we have people from areas who also converse in languages other than Hindi. So today's focus was basically bringing on Rekordbox 6, which has been around for about a year now and still in the constant improvement process. The current version is 6.5.0 and you know, it's a lot of confusion still exists because it's been almost a year, एक साल हो गया है that we have gone out. Literally, it's been 1 year, and for Skip, it has been even longer because uh, the last tour that we did was for the DJM V10 launch with Tuhin.
या I was not
We
there
did it,
yeah
yeah, in 6 cities: Bombay, Pune, Goa, Hyderabad, Chennai,
Chennai.
and Bangalore. So, Yeah, with the next opportunity that comes if we start travel, because as you know, the condition in West India is getting worse. So you can only imagine things getting even worse in other parts as well. Maybe they're just not being reported.
Yeah.
So that's why, the show must go on. We thought, let's do a big ass a stream with Rekordbox 6. And if you have questions, just type them down. I'll write them down on the side if they are related to a different topic. If they're related to that topic itself, we will cover them right away. अगर आपके पास कोई भी क्वेश्चन है जिसको आप पूछना चाहते हैं रिकॉर्ड बॉक्स 6 के बारे में तो आप लिख दीजिए हम उसको बाद में लेंगे अगर वो किसी और टॉपिक से रिलेटेड है इफ अगर वो सेम टॉपिक से रिलेटेड है देन विल उसको उसी टाइम हम कवर करेंगे नितिन योर क्वेश्चन इज कैन वी यूज vdj rb with record box 6 the answer is yes it's a hardware unlock device uh, for anybody who's confused about whether Rekordbox 6 works with your controller or not, if it's a Pioneer DJ controller, then go to rekordbox.com. In the support section, there is a hardware support section mentioned. Click on that, you will get a list of all the controllers which work, all the Pioneer DJ controllers which work with Rekordbox 6. It also mentions which controllers do not work with the Rekordbox 6. And it also includes players and mixers, which also are hardware unlocked devices. For example, DGM 750 Mark II, DGM 450, DGM 250. These are all hardware unlocked devices. So you can use Rekordbox. Even I believe DGM V10, CDJ 3000. These are all hardware unlocked devices. But again, I can name every product now, and we'll keep on losing on time. So we'll say quick hello to Sri and. Nitin, okay, glad we've answered your question. So, who wants to speak now? I've spoken enough.
Let us go straight to Skip.
Can we ask Kif which city are you in now? Because,
I'm in Delhi now. I'm the guy who
because
jumps to walls.
exactly, I think you're
But I'm
the.
in a different room in my house. So yeah, it's still a move. I would say like I'm still moving. I'm moving rooms.
Oh,
So yeah, man, I wanna just get the screen quickly and then we just start off with the software.
Vivian says, what are the new features in Rekordbox 6 other than bug fixes? Basically, he hasn't done his homework at all. So, listen, N word, if you think that you're smart, maybe you are. Maybe you're correct. You could be smart. But to this question, there's a lot that can be answered. So we are going to cover that, Vivian, to be honest.
Even
Uh,
Rakesh has a very cool. I mean, it's a very interesting question. A lot of people face it. I don't get this issue much because of the kind of music I play, but I'm sure Skip can help you with this because this is something that
this
he
is
would
the
be doing.
first thing I learned from Skip about the
Hmm.
record box. I think it was Mash or Skip. There was a workshop, I think, in ILM where Mash covered this topic. ILM, I Love Music Academy, it
Hmm.
doesn't exist anymore, but it's a very kick-ass,
Question.
bungalow which had multiple rooms of different types of classes. So I think they're coming back. That's what it was in Gurgaon, guys. So yeah, keep your eyes out if you're looking for.
So just to sorry to cut you, but I just found the list of players that are compatible with the record box, and it's actually almost everything. So like Tor One, Nexus Two, Nexus 2000, 900 Nexus, 900, 850, 350, 400, 1000
No,
Mark.
are you sure? Are you sure it's not written?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
compatible. So basically, there are a lot of times these are not hardware unlock. I'm saying with record box, you can just plug
correct,
and play.
correct.
Yeah.
I was
So
talking
hardware
about
unlock is a
hardware
different
unlock
thing.
specifically.
So hardware,
Kiran,
so you have to kind of
yeah,
understand
Rekordbox is
the
now
difference between.
compatible with Big Sur, so you can go ahead and update it.
Okay, but I will answer that question in a different manner. Right now, I've been going to the office as well, and I've been getting a lot of phone calls. about Big Sur not Rekordbox working, but their hardware not working with the Big Sur. So something like DDJ 400, for example, is not working well on Big Sur. Uh, so there is some kind of an audio glitch. I have reported that. So if you're using a DDJ phone, right now, I will say avoid Big Sur. For me, the way I do it, I always skip one major update and go to the second update. Right now, I'm actually two major updates behind. So from our end, yes, the record
For
box is
see,
compatible.
I've been using Big Sur for since the time it became compatible. I have
Hmm.
not had any issues with it. In fact, I would say that Rekordbox is actually a lot faster on Big Sur than it was on the previous OS.
Right.
And for music management, I've had like zero issues.
This issue is coming on older MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs.
Oh.
On the 2016 onwards MacBook, the Touch Bar ones,
Hmm.
there is no problem.
I'm
Amit,
on
in what sense are you saying? You
uh,
say that the 6 is not compatible with 2000 Nexus.
2000 Nexus is a 10-year-old CD player.
Yeah,
But compatible in what sense?
yeah. In what sense? I
Yeah,
mean, we are
because
not putting you in a spot here. It will be
no.
helpful for us to know
So basically,
in
let's
what
say if you
sense.
want to connect, you can always use link via Ethernet. So just connect because the CDs have this Ethernet. You plug in your Ethernet cable to your laptop. You need a USB to Ethernet converter, which Nishank very happily gave me, and I think he's forgotten about it. But
No, I haven't.
yeah,
I haven't.
and I've lost
Because
it
there
at
are
this point.
times when I miss that LAN connection in my MacBook Pro. So trust me, I haven't forgotten that you have that adapter.
So basically, you can use an adapter which is a USB to Ethernet. I'll see if I have it with me. And every CDJ which has got an Ethernet cable will connect to Rekordbox in export mode. So please, this is very
Correct.
important. Performance mode. Right now
So
with Rekordbox 6, you can just switch on. You can move to performance mode without without a key because it's free on the laptop. But that does not mean that you can just start off playing with it. So for that, you still need a hardware, right? So you need a mixer which has got two channels or whatever. So for that, you need hardware unlock feature, right? So that mixer should have that capability. And but
Capabalata.
if you are using an older generation CD player, which was the CD player this time, Ctj 2000, right?
2000 Nexus.
What? Yeah. So whatever he asked right now, that one will have a Ethernet port in the back. You connect that, and you connect that to your Rekordbox computer, and it will basically play all the files as per you have analyzed in Rekordbox. So yeah, it's pretty compatible that way, and
Okay,
probably
boys.
it's
So
probably the best
sorry
way
to
to. It's okay.
skip. Today is your day. You're going to speak. So let me cover a few tidbits before before you actually do. Goose, we
Yeah.
want to know which MacBook Pro do you use? Kiran, you have a 2017. Are you using Big Sur, or which OS are you on? I mean, if I were you, I love experimenting. I don't care about my MacBook blowing up. Actually, I do. And I hate to say it, but I've never been able to blow up my MacBook Pro. It seems to be built like a tank. With Windows, I've seen so many things go wrong. I still prefer, would like to say that Windows has more flexibility than a Mac. But then at the end of the day, the quality wise speaking, I've been in love with my Mac. So coming back to the question, Kiran, I want to know what is your OS which you're using. Meanwhile, Prasad says literally no one. Big love to DJ Skip. I hate you, man. All this while, I used to think that my parents don't love me, and now nobody else also loves me in the world. Like this, it could have been the nicest thing to do is to say, Nishank, literally not Skip. I love you as a person, as a human being, and I would have taken that. I would have been so happy. Look at Tuhin; he's not even looking up in the camera. You made him sad. Okay, so
Uh,
Goose has already mentioned he's using a 2015 MacBook Pro. I believe it's a Retina. Rekordbox
I have a very,
6.5.4.
very cool. I found actually a very, very really cool PDF that was basically I was just going through the stuff that we can talk about today, and I was
Okay,
kind of like looking for stuff that can be shown, and I found this file which basically tells us how Rekordbox can be connected. So
right.
I'm gonna basically show you that as well. If you want, I can actually show you now also. Do you want to see the connections? Like, because I think that will be a good.
Okay, so let's get started now. It's been about 18 minutes already that we've discussed a lot of different things. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting DJ Sip. Skip, don't watch porn.
No,
Okay,
I'm not
yeah,
doing that.
his screen is here.
Yeah.
Do you want, guys? Do you want the full screen like this on the
I,
side with our faces, or would you like this?
I
Because
think,
I
yeah,
think
I
it'll
think
be better.
keep it this way because there's
Well,
more surface.
okay.
There's more
So
real
one
estate.
second, I'll just basically just get all the other stuff on the screen where I can show you the PDFs that are given by Pioneer, and this is there in the website only. So you guys can just this information is there. The only thing is that we are as people, we just are lazy to research. So, and I am one of them. I usually go with the flow. The best
No,
part
but
about
I don't think this is laziness. I think it's just an oversight.
No, I think that for me, what I feel is that Pioneer gear in general is so easy to. It's just like you are at home when you're working with that. तो लगता है कि सब कुछ आता है, right? But there are so many hidden features that we just don't know, and for that we need to go through all these things. Like how Tuhin always used to say, "Na read the manual." What was the RTM? What was the
Oh,
thing?
Skippy, we can
RTFM.
hear you. We can hear you. Okay, why don't
You
you
can hear.
mute
RTFM.
your live stream thing?
Okay. Um,
Now I hear
Mute.
myself.
Okay, so this is the so let's just start off with what all can be mm, what all can we how can we set up basically, right? So in this is one way of setting up, which is basically your mm, uh, the computer over here, and then the mixer. Can you guys hear me
Skip, your voice
properly?
is echoing a lot, bro.
Uh,
Hey, Heslin. Heslin has joined us on.
His voice is absolutely fine for me.
hmm. I think is my voice clear to everyone? Just let me know.
Can you guys just comment and if his voice is okay?
Okay, maybe
Okay.
it was just me in that case. My
Yeah, it's
apologies
fine.
for.
Yeah.
Okay. So see this. This is one way of connecting Rekordbox. Now this is via DVS. So if you're a guy who plays on turntables like me, this can be used. This is the setup that you will use. Basically, two turntables, one mixer, and the audio cable from the turntables will go into the mixer, and from the mixer, the USB cable goes to the software to the laptop running the DVS. So this is one way of connecting it. Now you guys can go through all these things. We can it's there in the um, in the website, so you guys can just check and go through it. Now the second setup would be I'll just quickly go down. So this is the second setup, which is basically using an interface which is called the interface 2. Now here what happens is the audio cables go into the this particular interface. Now this interface is what a lot of the mixers which do not have uh, a built-in sound card. This is like a sound card for that mixer, and the turntable goes into this interface, and then interface out goes into the mixer as two different channels. So channel one, channel two, and you connect to your USB. One USB goes into the laptop. Now in this case scenario, you guys can all see there's only one USB going into the laptop. So this is pretty much this this can work for any laptop that is there, because we have at least two USBs in every computer. And yeah, man, this is Dvs setup, and let me just see if I can show you more setups which are given here. 1 second. I'm just going through a lot of PDFs here and there. So, and if there are people using DVSs and they're having any issues, they can also, this is the right time to ask questions regarding DVS setup. This DVS is basically for people who are using time code vinyls, so which is turntables, or CDJs. So this can be a pair of CDJs as well. So that's also one setup. Um, Other setup can be like how Goose has the setup, uh, uh, which is a setup with a with a all-in-one controller. So which is basically this. So let me just show you. So this is a setup where Rekordbox is playing with a controller. Now in this, what's happening is this is a controller which is playing Rekordbox. So you're not really uh, playing from the controller. That means that a pen drive, external source pen drive, will not work in this case scenario. Everything, you still need a laptop in this case scenario, right? And then we have another setup, which let me just quickly find that.
Mm, Meanwhile, Karthik, if you could specify what is your budget, we can help you out. Which controller would be the best for you? Because there's no starting point, there's no end to
Yeah,
expenditure as well.
I would say I think
Vinod
I've
Bhai
got
from Bombay is asking about Mark II mixer. I think he wants to know about DVS. Vinod Bhai, if you could specify what your question is, right now it's very fragmented. I'm not able to find a question in what exactly it is that you want to know.
so. Let's say for my case now, let's say I'm saying this is a DVS system. You guys can see here we're using an external source. So a time code goes into the software, into the hardware, and then that connects with the software. The second setup is here, which is basically the software is being controlled by a hardware. So everything is being controlled here. And I think this is the third setup where uh, a USB cable goes into. Oh, this is the same thing. Wait, let me just see if I have the other one also. This is the Ctj setup. Uh, yeah. So here, what's happening is this is what I think Goose uses. So Goose has got a all-in-one controller. Here you can actually do a combo of both. So this unit supports pen
Goose,
drives as
I
well,
didn't know you were that rich. Goose has a Vdj Rb, bro.
which is similar thing, right?
No, no.
Ah, okay. I in my head somehow I thought that Goose has got this setup. So this setup is basically where you have a pen drive, a unit that supports a pen drive also, and it can support control. It can be a controller for your software. So now this I feel is the best setup. When I go to a club or something, and if I have a pair of CDJs, I usually go with this particular setup. Over here, what I do in this is, if you can see, one USB cable is going here, and everything else is connected by a LAN hub. And now in this case scenario, there are a lot of combinations you can do. One is where you can have two CD players on pen drives and two CD players on HID mode. This is still a different kind of setup, but I'm just saying how I will work, because I want, like, I feel that a pen drive is like an emergency case scenario for me. So I will always have same playlist on the laptop and on the pen drive, just in case if my laptop cable is not plugged in properly or something. Someone let's takes it off. CDJ automatically goes into a emergency loop. And a good news for us is now that the 3000s can go for a whole track or something. Was that the case, Nishant? Now, if an emergency
Yeah,
loop
it's a
happens,
full track. Full track.
yeah. So
Full track.
now basically you can, even if the connection is lost, you still have the whole track in the CDJs 3000. But anyways, this is the case scenario. probably for me the best case scenario, where you have two CDJs which are controlling Rekordbox, and then two CDJs which are on pen drives. So you're like probably the safest bet that you can have. Also, guys, if you can see over here, everything is connected. A lot of DJs do not connect their mixer to the hub, and I feel that you're not really using it to your full potential then, because if you have connected your mixer also, then the whole concept of master and slave works properly, because then your master CDJ will be controlling the BPM of the effects as well. And Tuhin I'm saying Tuhin would know way better than me than in this case scenario, because the moment you put master, everything has to be like properly in sync. And the best way I feel is to connect, because otherwise what will happen is the mixer will take some time to adjust to your BPM, whatever you're changing. Now, I understand that Tuin plays more of a 4/4 style, where the BPM changes are not that big. But in my case scenario, my BPM changes are like really big. Like I play most of the time, I play with so my minimum is plus minus 16, and like probably 50% of the time I'm on wide. So there are times that I'm playing tracks at plus 25, and because of this setup, all my effects are on time, all my transitions are on time. I can actually just do freestyle, because I know all my stuff will be properly timed. Now, one very very important thing is, if you are doing this, make sure that you analyze your tracks on Rekordbox. Make sure that you are um, warping, not warping, in this grid editing your whole thing properly, because I have seen a lot of DJs who are using the Ctj 3000s, and they are still actually Tuhin pointed out, because he has probably among all of us, he has used the most Ctj 3000 for the most amount of time. And uh, he's saying that he has seen a lot of DJs who are using pen drives, and they're just using it as a pen drive which has got folder and a folder full of songs in it. I would highly recommend all the DJs to please explore Rekordbox export mode. It is free. It makes you do a lot of things. And Twin, do you want to elaborate on that? And can we have Twin on the screen also? Because right now we're just talking about this
Yeah,
thing.
you what did you want me to elaborate exactly on? Because you said
So
pretty much.
basically, you know, how important is it to basically use Rekordbox export mode? I'll
I mean,
for your
I think like if you're a DJ,
export mode.
if you're a DJ, sorting, arranging, organizing your music is one of the most important things you do, and Rekordbox is the perfect way to go about it. But I see like a lot of DJs are just very lazy and just stuck in, 10, 15 year ideology where they just put everything into a folder and, put it onto a pen drive and plug it into the CDJs. Yeah, you can do that. It works, but you're honestly not, getting the full power of what the CDJ can do for you. With the waveforms, with the CJ 3000, you even have key shifting and key matching, which is very very important today, and
Correct.
the advanced browsing ability. There's so much, the quantized beat jumps, quantized looping,
Yeah.
um, pretty much every advanced function, and we all of us, like back in the day, we used to, buy records or buy CDs, and then we would sit and wait for the records to come or CDs to come, then put it into our case logic or record bags. Today,
Case
we're
logics.
not.
I've not heard that word in ages,
Yeah,
man.
today we today we are not, we everything is instant. So how long does it take? 1 hour before a gig for you to sort out all your music? And Rekordbox is super fast to organize your music, super fast for beat gridding. I don't see why people should not use this way of organizing your music. And the cool thing with Rekordbox is whatever music you have analyzed on Rekordbox, it's compatible on like your USB drives. So you can use it on CDJs, you can use it on a controller like the XDJ, or you can even use it on laptop-based controllers like the DDJ series,
You
which
can move
is
to a
super
laptop also,
cool.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's across everything. So you don't have to organize your music separately on different software. It's just one software that has everything together. So yeah, that's very, very important.
So I want to know, Tuhin, what would be like, let's say, if you want to give one word of advice to DJs who have just started doing this. So people that, let's suppose Nishank is a guy who doesn't analyze his for tracks, and he just drops folders, wearing a hat, and
Hmm.
goes to the club playing, right? So if he had just started, he's seeing this record box workshop, and he's just started doing that. What would be this one particular thing that you would advise them to do? You know, like it's one thing that you have to or you should do if you wanna, when you start doing this, like it can
If
be.
you're a professional DJ, if you want to be a professional DJ, you need to be professional about your work process. And your work process is organizing your music. That's the fundamental exercise for all of us DJs is
Yeah.
organizing the music. So you really have to use the most fluid way to organize your music, and Rekordbox
Correct, correct, yeah.
is basically the easiest. I mean, even if you don't have a laptop, you can even organize Rekordbox on your mobile phone or your tablets.
I just got it.
So
I just tried it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct.
yeah, so there's no excuse, and nobody can say, oh, I don't have the time. That's absolute rubbish, in my
So
opinion.
a quick question to him. Say, let's take example of Nishank again.
Mm,
If he's like, let's say he's a lazy guy, but he just drags and drop all the folders. I'm just giving you an example.
mm,
Coming from a person, because I know a lot of DJs who exact same way put folders may they have the BPM wise folders, like say 90 to 100 ka folder hai, 100 to 110 ka folder hai, 110 to 120 ka folder hai, and they have this progressive house ka folder, whatever. The best what is it okay to just throw them in record box and then export them out as just playlist? That would also like do a job in a certain way, right?
See, like what I do is something similar to what you said. Like on my laptop, I have one master folder, which I just call it music database. And when you
Yeah,
open that folder, I have all the years. So like right now we're in 2021. So if you go to
yeah,
2021, then I have all of the months. So if I go to
yeah,
February and if I enter that folder, it's going to have all the music that I have bought in the month of
yeah.
February. It's
Correct,
not
correct.
cataloged based on BPM or anything. So what I do is every time I'm getting ready for a gig, I just take all the music from that particular month's folder, drop it into Rekordbox, create a playlist in Rekordbox with that month. You know,
Okay.
it literally takes if for 100 tracks, including putting all my markers and everything, 45 minutes at the max.
Huh. Which
Because
is
I
you
mean
can
I've
do. You
I've
should do
built
it.
up that speed, so I work very fast now. So 45 minutes to an hour at the max, I would say.
Yeah. Which
For
you should give.
100 tracks, and 100 tracks
Yeah.
is a lot of music.
Yeah, correct, correct, correct. It's a lot of music.
Yeah,
If you're playing that's like 15 track for an hour if you take. So that's a lot
yeah,
of track, like 5 hours mota mota.
exactly.
Yeah. So let's just start off with a basic process. Um, how we would anything else you want to talk about, or should I just start with the record box
No,
this
no, no,
thing?
I think go ahead and start.
Yeah. Okay. So this is I purposely deleted everything in this laptop, and this is like fresh. Like when you download the record box, this is what happens. Like you get record box like this. Now the first thing that most of the guys would be seeing is this is so small. कुछ नजर ही नहीं आ रहा है. At least to me, I have to wear like glasses, and still I don't know. So what you have to do is uh, first of all, I'm on export mode. Now I'll go to the settings and see fix my view first. So font size, I will increase the font size थोड़ा सा बड़ा करेंगे, and line space. So now I can at least see everything properly. So let's make it even bigger, right? And what else? I don't want to see iTunes. So basically, I want to lay out things as per my convenience, right? I don't want to see Explorer. I don't want to see search mobile button. I want to see related tracks. Uh, the school tooltips I want to see because I want to see what's happening. So this is a very very I would say important feature for people who are starting off, because with the tooltips you just click on the button and you will see what that button does. Now waveform drawing rate, high speed, medium speed, low speed. This totally depends on your convenience
CPU
and the laptop.
also.
I use it on high speed because I want to see. Uh, I make cue points that way, so I am comfortable with high speed. Color, you have three different color schemes here. One is blue, one is RGB, and one is three band. Now, uh, I personally still am stuck with the blue one because I'm just used to it. But I'll just tell you what all these color schemes mean. So with blue, what's happening is the brighter the color, the more highs there are in the track, and the more darker the color, the more lows there are, right? Or the loudness also, the loudness you can see with the shape of the transient. And Nishant, can you show me also on the side, because I'm doing some hand gestures, which are easier to understand. So yeah, thanks. So with
So
the
this will happen. The thing is, do you want yourself to be seen? Because I am going on an adventure right now. I'll be driving and away from the keyboard for the next 20 minutes. So what
no,
you
it's okay.
see right now,
This is good. This is good. I think
okay, killer.
people will be okay with that. I'm going to increase the font size any which ways. So let me know if you guys
Meanwhile,
can.
there's a question by Mohammed. He asks, I got Rekordbox 5 with license, so should I update it to Rekordbox 6?
Yeah,
Okay, can I
totally.
answer that? Your keep
How
both
did
the
you get the
versions.
license? Huh?
I will say keep both the versions. You can take a playlist from Rekordbox 5 and port it to Rekordbox 6, but you cannot take Rekordbox 6's playlist and port it to Rekordbox 5. So your analysis part is something that I would recommend you to do in Rekordbox 5, although in my personal experience, the key of Rekordbox analysis is 99% spot on. So
On Recordbox 6?
even though I have Rekordbox 5 myself, I'm not using it at all. I'm sticking to Rekordbox 6.
Me too. Me
So
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So coming back to the waveforms, you have blue, with you have RGB. With RGB, the idea is the greener the element, the higher in the green element is in the high frequency range, and
I mean,
low frequency range.
I have a better way of talking about this. RGB is my favorite
Okay, cool.
color scheme while using
Do you
Rekordbox.
use it on CDJs also
Me too.
RGB?
Me too.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
agree.
For me also, my CDJs are in RGB.
Mm.
With RGB mode, the red is basically your bass. Okay,
Yeah.
so the redder the track, the harder and heavier the track is.
Mm.
All of your orange and yellow is basically your mid-range percussive elements. Your blues and greens are either vocals or vocals and synth. Your purple and pink is also sort of like when you have synths that sound a little more acidic or a little
On the higher
sharper.
frequency range, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I like RGB because sometimes I'm looking for a particular remix of a song and I have three or four remixes, and I don't remember which remix is the one that I want to play. All I know is that, okay, in the breakdown there's percussion. So if I quickly
Yes.
look at the waveform and I see that in the breakdown I see orange and yellow, orange or yellow, then I know, okay, this is a percussive breakdown. This is the breakdown that I want to,
Yeah, I really
this is
love
the
this
track I
term
want to
that
play.
Tuhin just used. He said
Yeah.
if your track is acidic.
Yeah. A lot of stuff is very acidic now.
Uh, okay, so Tuvin, do you want to talk about the three band also? Because I think you're the one who is the most experienced when it comes to three band as
Yeah,
well.
so three band again, it's a very similar concept. This is really useful for people who are colorblind, like Goose. The frequency spectrums are broken down into blue, orange, and white. Where the blue is your low end, orange is your mid range, and the white is your highs. so you can quickly see what's going on in the track. I mean, I tried using this for a while, but I still missed the flexibility of the RGB, and I switched back to the RGB. But I know that Goose is really loving this three band waveform
Hmm.
because it's easy for him to see it since he's colorblind.
Okay, cool. So now, thank you, Tuhin, for
I
your.
think it's more or less like the same as people accustomed to RGB using just the blue waveform.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but once you start using the RGB, it becomes very difficult to use anything else because of just because of the sheer amount of information that you can see in the colors. Like
Well, yeah,
I can.
for
So sometimes what happens is like if I'm playing tracks that I have made, right, and I
hmm,
have like two, three versions of the same track, and I forget which version is the version that I need to play, and
yeah,
I can see just by the red, like the redness of the track. I say, okay, this is a hotter mix than the one that's below it.
yeah.
So, I
But
know that, okay,
my
this,
recommendation as a younger DJ of the lot to the younger DJs who are actually watching us is that keep yourself accustomed to the blue waveform as well, because there are times where we get CDJ 350s, which is basically as good as the blue waveform, or maybe worse than the blue waveform. At least you know that now you will be DJing with your ears and not eyes. So
Hmm.
that's what
I feel
my
that
piece of advice is to everybody.
I feel that it's more in Tuhin's case scenario. It's more of the feel of the track that he's kind of figuring out with the
yeah.
RGB. Not really
Correct.
Yeah, because
pick up.
I have major issues like remembering track names or artist names. Even now, like
Yeah, bro,
let's
same.
say if I have a gig tomorrow and I've downloaded 20 tracks, just 20 tracks. By the time I sort it out and I go to the club, I've forgotten the names of the tracks. I've forgotten the names of the artists. And sometimes I just look at the waveform and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something that's going to fit my vibe, or this is probably not as heavy as the track that I'm playing. I might need to step it up, do something else on the sampler. So for me, it's a very visual key that Rekordbox gives me with the multicolor waveform. It really helps me sort through my music and also sort through my set as I'm playing.
Hmm. Nice.
Guys, keep your questions coming in.
Goose is saying he's still not fully accustomed to it. Was it this one? Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't had too much of an opportunity also to use the three band waveform on the CDJs because we really haven't had too many gigs with the 3000s
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
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 Actually, we haven't
Also,
had gigs.
Yeah.
also, I would request everyone who's online to share it to as many people as possible because we are going to talk. We're going to. This is going to be a long one, and yeah, we want to talk to as many. We want to take a lot of questions. I mean, this video will be there for you to watch later, but just so that we get to answer almost every question or as much questions as possible, it'll be good. So, anyways, now coming to the beat count display, this is for oh sorry, one more thing. Um, Waveform preview, full waveform, half waveform. You can see on top, uh, this is half waveform, this is full waveform. Uh, I'm okay with full actually. Beat count display, this is basically your, you can see over here, it is showing the number of bars. So you're at 1.1.1, and the moment I play it, the bars start for every grid that is there, for every grid line that is there, you see the bar keeps moving. So this 1.1, when it reaches here, it's going to be 1.2, 3, 4, 1, and it's going to be second bar. So if you hear 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2.1, 2.2. So basically this is to show what's your position of the track, right? And you can change it to um, your count to the next memory queue. Memory queue would be you make a queue and it's going to show you a count down to the next memory queue. Then you have waveform. Click on waveform to play a queue. This is just a feature, uh, as in I'm okay with whatever off. Now, key display format. This is very, very cool, and I keep shifting between these two. I will tell you the reason. Now, when you put it on classic, what happens is the key. I've not analyzed. These are actually let's analyze these two tracks. You just right click and analyze tracks. So this is the first thing that you do. You have to analyze these tracks, and I'm going to analyze key. I'm not going to analyze the phrase. So when I analyze these tracks, it is analyzing right now. It's showing F minor and F minor. Let's take a few more tracks. Let's just put some tracks in the software. I'm not used to this Windows laptop, but yeah. So I'm just gonna put some tracks. Our friend Manny's album. 1 second. Create a play. So to put tracks, you just create a playlist. So creating a playlist. Let's call it 1111. That's the album's name, and dragging and dropping the tracks from the folder. I just put the folder in just to show you how it's done. So basically, the folder comes in here, and you use this drag and drop, and all the tracks are dropped properly here. And now it's going to ask us whether you want to analyze this or not. And I want to analyze it. So, okay. And now everything will get analyzed. Now, this is a feature that you have to be very careful about. And this comes in over here. I'm just skipping this for a very important feature. Auto analysis. If you are using your computer to perform, auto analysis should be disabled, because auto analysis will basically be running in the background, and it will be analyzing all the tracks as per the software's convenience, and it'll keep doing it. So the best way would be to take it off. And right now I'm using it because I'm using export mode, so there's no problem in it, right? So yeah, coming back to the view, why do I use classic and alphanumeric? I'm gonna show you why. So now over here, if you see, you can see the keys. Everybody can see the keys. Tuin, you can see the keys properly.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So okay, let's just make it more cleaner. I like to see things only that I want to see. So you can right click over here and take off. Like, I don't want to see date added. I don't want to see time. I don't want to see genre. I don't want to see rating. Right now, I don't want to see rating. And I don't want to see the artwork also. And also, I don't want to see the preview. Because, yeah. So now, if you see this, when I click on key, it basically it's basically aligning everything as per in alphabetic order, right? So it's A flat minor, A minor, C, D flat minor, D minor, D minor, E flat minor, whatever, right? But when I'm playing and I want to play it as in key, so like I want to see a playlist where every track is playing. Every track is arranged as per their key. So for that, what I do is I shift this while playing. I shift this to alphanumeric. Now with alphanumeric, what happens is all the tracks will be aligned as per the key. So like 1A will go with, sorry, 1A will go with 2A, 7A will go with 8A, 8A will go with 9A, 8B. So this is something that I keep shifting. So this is a good tip that I wanted to share. Whenever you're playing, if you're playing with an artist, so say you're playing with recently Mash has just started, Mash did a gig with a sitar player. So for him, if I would be at his place and I want to change, I want to play with the sitar player, and he says that I want all the tracks on C minor. So what I would do is I would just change this to classic, and now all the tracks that are on C minor would be here. So for example, C minor tracks are not there, so I'll say, bro, I don't have any track on C minor. Would you like D minor? So I'll just give him D minor over here, right?
The
So
relative scale of C minor would be E major, right?
so I'm just saying, if you want D minor, I'll give him D. I'm saying that I don't have tracks on C minor. I have D minor. You
Right.
want D minor? I'll give you D minor. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that will give you a relative scale. But yeah, this is one thing that I keep shifting, and I do this a lot when I'm playing. Even if I'm playing gig, also, uh, there are other ways to get relative tracks, but this probably is the quickest one for me, right? And then comes a really really cool feature which I used recently in an event in Calcutta. It was a daytime affair, and I was not able to really see the screen because it's all black. I can just go click here and just say light, and everything becomes white. So it's very very useful when you're playing in scenarios. So imagine this when I'm playing in export mode, it's usually full browser. So this is how I see the whole setting. For me, this is a blessing because a lot of times, sorry, when we are playing in scenarios uh, where it's too bright, and to see the screen like this, it's amazing. The new S11 that I use, also mixer that I have, is the S11 that also has this feature, and I'm really, really thankful to Pioneer for having that. Now hot cues,
What is this feature in S11?
it's the skin setting in display setting. You can make call it the
Oh, it
daytime
has a
mode.
display. I forgot. F- because the battle mixer has never had a display, no, except for
Yeah,
909. I just S11 had a screen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Skip,
So,
there are a
So
couple of
so what
questions.
happens? It has an RGB in white in day mode as well.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So basically, in S11, what happens is this light mode. How you have uh, this? It basically becomes black becomes white, and the RGB also inverts colors. So yeah, basically the whole screen gets inverted. Cool.
Skip, there are a couple of questions. How
Yeah.
to make a copy of pen drive which is already analyzed? Um, yeah.
Okay. So how to make a copy of a pen drive which is already analyzed? You plug in the pen drive, and like for example, I have plugged in my hard disk over here. I'm not going to do the process, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So this is the hard disk. Great. It's not compatible also. That's the best. So so now what you will do is you basically have this your both the pen drives will be shown to you. You just basically click on the playlist that you wanna make a copy of. So you can just plug in your pen drive. Your pen drive will show, both the pen drives will show here. Then you can just drag and drop the playlist into the second pen drive. It's very very easy. That's probably the best way. Or else, if you want to make the exact replica, you can just clone the pen drive also. So these are the two ways I would use. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Uh, yeah. Oh, Goose is saying that it's useful for open air live streams as well. Yeah,
Mm.
I think you're correct. So I'm just, I'm just sorry, I'm just going through the comments right now.
Open air live streams.
Yeah, so basically, basically, if you're playing in a daytime affair.
Goose is already having his shisha, it seems.
Okay, so Ryan is asking, can you give a brief of Kuvo? Nishang, do you want to speak on that, or Tuhim? Because I am kind of unfamiliar with Kuvo.
I think
I
Do you
know
wanna
Nishant,
do you wanna
Nish
bring do you wanna bring Goose online and let him talk about Kuvo?
yeah, man, I think that will
I,
be a good idea, but I don't know if he's available for
See,
that.
honestly, the whole concept of Kuvo, and I can't believe it, I'm doing this while I'm driving. So this concept of Kubo was essentially to build not exactly a radio show, but kind of like how there are some websites where you can see which artist
Playlist.
used which track in their mix, right, at what time.
Yeah.
Essentially, that was the main purpose of Kuvo. That if somebody is playing in a club, there would be a Kuvo device that would be compatible. That would be basically existing on your Pro DJ link via the modem connection, and it would read the file properties, etc., and make a playlist of that performance while it's happening, and upload it online real time. Of course, that never took off really as a culture because a internet connectivity, b
People
why
are
would anybody want to? Sorry,
people are insecure talking about their this thing also.
people are insecure. Besides, it's an unnecessary expenditure if you see. Today, in today's time, having something like that is a boon because everybody is uploading their mixes, and if there is a way to know which track you played when, then this is it. I mean, no other DJ software does anything like that. There will always be history of which track you played on which day, but there will be no timestamp to such kind of a history, which essentially is what Kuvo does. I hope I'm answering it correctly. I could be wrong because I'm not a big user of Kuvo myself. I have used it. I do continue using it, but at times, I have to go back and edit the whole playlist myself, which becomes a little bit of task. So I stopped doing it myself.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your inputs. Should
Cheers.
we? Um,
But yeah, the modern players are all Kuvo compatible. So I think even with CDA 3000, you can do it in real time. I'm not sure. I'll find that information out.
okay, cool. So let's move on to the analysis settings. I just want to go through all the settings. It's easiest to just go through everything. Now, basically, you can analyze the tracks as per your convenience. Say you have tracks which are you're playing like mm, a set which is this setting 70 to 180 is probably the best for me also. For me, it works really nicely. Now there is this thing called normal, and then there is this thing called dynamic. Dynamic is for one of the questions that was asked initially, which is basically for tracks which have fluctuating BPM in them, right? So uh, if you have a track like an old retro track or a transition track which has got it goes from 100 to say 120, and then it goes back to 120, back to 100. So it's like a dynamic track in this sense. So for that to put grid markers on the right spot, and so that everything, like for example, if you're playing a track which is 100 bpm and it's analyzed as a 100 bpm track throughout, there'll be issues 100% because your remember the fact that I was talking about the master and the slave concept. Your CDJ will be picking it up as a 100 BPM track, whereas it'll be playing a 120 BPM track. So your effects will not be on time. But if you warp them properly, or if you grid them properly with dynamic analysis, you would be able to you will be able to play tracks in time. So very important. If you are a DJ who plays electronic music or stuff which has got variations in BPM, highly recommend going for dynamic tracks, dynamic BPM analysis, and probably I think Rekordbox has the best dynamic analysis because you can actually go up and down in a big way. And then
And I think that happened from Rekordbox 5.4 or something.
yeah, it's been there for a long time. So the the algorithm is just getting better and better. Now, track analysis settings, BPM and grid and key. I usually don't do phrase because I think phrase is a feature that I would use in lightning or lighting, or however you want to call it.
Plus,
Lighting.
phrase also consumes a lot of CPU power if you
Yeah, Yeah.
utilizing it, using it but not utilizing it.
Yeah. So I always switch it off. Uh, Auto analysis should be disabled most of the time. Uh, Now, this set memory queue at the first beat of a track when analyzing, I usually keep it on. Now, I just have to, I think, tell you guys again, this is a fresh install. So, all the settings I'm doing it right now is how I would start my setup, right? Key analysis, write the value to ID3 tag. This I would take it off because I might have used these tracks in my somewhere else. And
Nishant, just mute yourself, no?
yeah, so I might have used these tracks in some other projects, and then they might also, mess up with that. So I would take this off, and analysis process. If you are just analyzing, do it performance, man, full power, no tension at all. And if you have a like my laptop, this laptop is like a monster. So I have no problems when it comes to putting it on performance mode. So if you have a laptop which can really push it, you do go with this. Now, D system, this is where Mr. Tuhin Mehta will come in because he will tell us how to, now this is where you can really customize your system, the unit that you're playing in, like a CDJ or something. You can basically, put all the settings that you want to choose. Tuhin, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I'll just talk about it as you go through the tab. So in the general tab, I normally set it
I
to
just mute
RGB,
myself.
like I said.
How do I mute
In the
myself?
general tab, I set it to RGB, and the type of overview waveform, I set it to full waveform because I like to see the whole thing. Key display format, again, this is according to your preference, whether you prefer the classic or the alphanumeric. I personally use the alphanumeric, so I set it to alphanumeric. Can we go to the next tab? You're
No,
muted
no, bro.
still.
One question. Can
Hmm.
we change, like how I said, I change when I'm playing, I keep changing between classic and alphanumeric. Can we do
Yeah,
it on serial also?
yeah, I think on the 3000 you can.
That's a very, very cool one. Okay, cool. So I'll mute myself.
Switch to the next tab. So category. Now this is basically what you want to see on your DJ system, the kind of categories that you're going to be able to see and select and then go into it. So if you see in the active categories, if you click on artist, it'll show you all the artists. If you click on album, it'll show you all the album. If you click on tracks, it'll show you all the tracks. Then you have key, playlist, history, search, matching, folder, and date added. I also tend to add things like BPM, color, genre,
So
because
to add, what you do is you click on this and you click on this.
correct.
So
And then if you want to change the order, you on the active category, you can select it and then just press up or down on the bottom button. So if I want to, let's say, if I want to move date added all the way to the top, I can highlight date added and click up until it goes right up to the top. So that will be the first category that shows.
is it
Um,
really helpful, Twin? Is this a, I personally feel that this is a great, great feature, man.
yeah, it's very useful because you may not find it very useful in the beginning if you're a new DJ, but as you start gaining more experience and finding your own workflow with Rekordbox and actually performing live, you'll know what categories you actually want to see and what categories you don't want to see. You'll also see what categories you use very often and what you don't use very often, so you can then set them in
So it's
order
like
of
something that
hierarchy.
that you don't know you want it till you have it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then the
Uh,
second, the third
Talia,
tab is your
Talia.
what?
Talia, he's saying Talia, Talia. He's just joking
Hmm.
around. Tell me.
Uh, then the third tab is obviously sorting, which is once you go into, let's say in the previous category, you went into playlist and you went into a particular playlist there, you can then sort your music within that playlist. And here you have various criteria that you can further sort your music. So as you can see, you have your default, which is the default order in which you have set up your playlist. You have the alphabet or track name, you have artist, album, BPM, rating, key. Now, what I do is I remove album because for dance music, we don't really bother with it. I add color, I add comments, I add genre as things that I find important in the way I sort my music. So let's say I go into my February playlist. I can now sort via BPM, sort via key, sort via color, and sort via genre. So it allows me to find my music very, very quickly within one playlist, which may have 100, 200 tracks as well.
Okay.
Again, super powerful feature that not a lot of people know about, and even if they know about it, they don't use it.
But in the CDJs, you have to manually go and check, right? Ki konsa, like that button comes in and it says sort by, and then you can have. So these are the
Correct,
options that the CDJ will display, right?
correct, exactly.
Correct. Okay, cool. So the one which are not highlighted, these we cannot change basically, right?
Yeah, those are static. They're always there.
Okay. You want to move to the next one?
Yeah. So
So
column. Now this is a separate column that shows up alongside each of your tracks, and when the
ah,
track is also so this is very, very powerful. And what I
wow.
normally do is click on it, and I normally set it to comments. Yeah, I set it
Oh,
to comments because let's say I want to, if I have two versions of a track, for example, and like I said, my memory is very bad. I don't remember track names, remix names, artist names. If I want to say, okay, this has a very long breakdown, so I can actually make a note in the comment section of that track and say very long breakdown. So if when I load the track, it will show up right on top saying very long breakdown or short outro, you know, or very
Acha,
long
one question
intro. So,
I have. So let's say
hmm,
you have these comments. Uh,
hmm,
I don't know if I really remember it properly, but if in the because maybe one software used to do it, but if in the search bar I
hmm,
I type very long breakdown, it will show that
hmm.
track. Does that happen in this
It,
also?
I think it should. I've never tried it that way. I should try it, but I haven't
Yeah.
tried it that way. But I think it should show up.
In the laptop, not on the CDJ. I'm saying in the laptop it should show,
Oh,
right? In the search bar.
I yeah, it should show up.
Yeah, it should show. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Okay. My settings.
yeah. One second. There are a couple of questions. Garth asks, how does the mixed in key come into Rekordbox without analyzing and in mixed in key?
Here. Yeah.
Garth, because Rekordbox now analyzes in both numeric and alphanumeric format. The numeric format is basically what you're asking, the mixed in key format. So
Yeah.
Rekordbox now does both. So that's how it shows up, even if you don't have the actual mixed in key software.
Actually, it's the metadata from the
No,
file
no, no,
that
no, no, no,
Mixin
no,
key writes.
no,
You
no, no,
sure?
no, no, no. No.
How else?
If you enable key analysis on Rekordbox, it analyzes in
Right.
both alphanumeric. I mean, it
Correct.
analyzes the key, but it has
Correct.
ability to show you in both numeric and alphanumeric format. But
Correct. It has the ability, but I
if you
don't
have
analyze
used
the key.
if you've used, like, I
Correct.
don't analyze the key in Rekordbox. If I analyze
Correct.
the key in mixed in key, but mixed in
Correct.
key, what it does is it writes the key data into the ID3 of the file, and the ID3 is then read in Rekordbox, and that's how it shows up in Rekordbox as well.
Hmm. But then when you analyze the track, that goes off, right?
No, if you've disabled key analysis
Yeah.
on the track, then it's not going to overwrite your key.
If you have,
Yeah.
then it'll obviously
Hmm.
go off, right?
Yeah,
So basically,
yeah.
in your analysis setting, you
No,
have
but
to
see, that's
take
the
this off.
thing. Like you had one setting where it says write data into ID3
Yeah,
track.
this
If
one, this one.
only if you've clicked that, it's going to send it into ID3. If you don't click it, it only writes it into Rekordbox database.
So
I
do you
hope
want?
you're proud of yourself,
What
Garth.
would be your advice?
What I basically advise in what way?
So should I use it or should I click it or not? Should I display the key on the database information on the database or not? Like with this thing,
I mean, the thing
is
is,
it just
every time you write information to ID3, you are actually changing the file. You're rewriting to that file.
yeah, this
So
one. Sorry.
if that file has been linked to other softwares and things like
That's
that,
what I'm saying. Yeah,
the file may not show up correctly.
show up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
my point.
so and Rekordbox doesn't use ID3 information. It creates its own database. So I just leave it completely unchecked.
So for you, do you have this on or not? This one, key
No,
analysis, right?
it's off.
It's off, no? Yeah, correct. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't use key analysis on Rekordbox because I have mixed in key. I have a
Ah,
perpetual
okay.
license on mixed in key,
So
so I
basically, so
get all the.
your setting would be this will be ticked off basically.
Correct. My key is turned off.
Okay, okay, cool. My case scenario I wanted. So yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so coming to my settings now. Column is
Yeah.
over. I think
Yeah,
this is a
columns.
very very cool software.
This
A
is
very
super
very cool.
powerful. Again, there's a lot of people don't use it, but it's super powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My settings. This is where you customize your.
Yeah, so this is where you can customize your player and mixer, and once your player and mixer is connected to the record box, it automatically transfers
Look at the
over
settings that you
all of,
have, man.
yeah, all of the settings. So this is again, this is a complete personal preference and the way
Hmm.
you perform sort of thing. So the advantage is that you can save it once, and once you can, if you're using USB, you write it to the USB. Every time you load up the USB, it says that it's found your my settings, and literally 2 buttons later, your
You're
settings
sorted.
are, yeah,
Yeah.
fully sorted. So the with the 3000 also, it becomes so quick. You can set up 6 players in like 15 seconds,
Hmm.
instead of like
Do you want to
constantly
elaborate
them.
more on scenarios in which we can use this? Because I know
I
a lot of
mean,
scenarios. 100%.
like each of us has a completely different way of DJing, and
Yeah.
the the settings and the modes that we want enabled on the CDJ are different. So if you're playing after another
Yeah, look at
DJ and that DJ has changed the settings, you want to
yeah.
sit and rewrite everything. So once you plug
So
your USB in, it literally in literally a second, your
yeah.
settings, your personal performance settings are on the CDJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
so
you'll
it's
be
super
doing
powerful.
all these things one by
So
one by
yeah, so
one.
like what I do is in the play mode, I switch it. For me, it is on single. The eject load lock is on lock. The needle lock is on lock. The quantized beat value is 1 beat. The auto cue load is on record box settings. The hot cue color is on colorful. Click on that. The hot cue color. Yeah, it's on. Then auto cue level is memory. Time mode is again on remain. Auto cue. Click on auto cue.
Mine is on always.
Yeah, click on. Yeah. Then jog mode is I
Mine
keep
should
it
be
on
vinyl.
vinyl.
Uh,
Yeah, vinyl CDJ.
Tempo
Tempo
range,
range for
yeah.
me is plus minus 6.
For me, 16. Yeah, correct. So
Yeah,
here, you and me as two DJs will be two very different setup. And now we can
exactly.
just plug one. Otherwise, I have to like set up all these things.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, the moment I click on this link, it'll be activated, right? Let's see the mixer settings. I want to see this. Oh, this is so cool. Okay.
Yeah, so this is like it's super useful because this is one of the things that my mixer settings are very different to what most people use. I have my EQs on full isolator. My channel fader curve is different. My
Nishant, please mute
uh,
yourself.
crossfader
I
curve
didn't
is
know. I
different.
sorry.
Yeah.
So for me, having those things, that's the first thing I check, before
Hmm.
I start DJing. So it's
So, bro, tell
super.
me this thing. How will I do this? Like the whole mixer scenario.
So
How will
again,
this
if your mixer is networked, then
happen?
the mixer will also pick up the information from your drive. Your
Okay.
right now, basically, this settings that you're running is basically when Rekordbox on your laptop is connected on a network
Link.
to your
Via link.
to
Via
your
link.
link. But the
Yeah.
same settings you can save it to a USB drive.
Yeah.
And like I have a separate USB drive just for my V10
Yeah.
mixer
Yeah.
settings.
Yeah.
So I
You
can
have all the
always go
software
and
updates
yeah,
on that.
because for me like my V10 mixer settings are quite intricate and advanced, especially when it comes to the effects. Specific effects I have set up differently to what most people do. So I can instantly recall all of that without any hassle.
Cool. Correct. Okay. Hot cues. Hot cue load. So
Yeah, on import.
oh yeah, this is a very important feature actually because this has happened with me so many times, bro. Like it is so I am playing on vinyls most of the time, right? The
Yeah.
moment I move to CDJs, there it's like it's bound to happen. This particular thing is bound to happen and I don't play small sets. Like I play like 4 hours or like
Hmm.
3 to 4 hours basically at least.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I can guarantee you, एक ना एक बार तो, and I use this. duplicate feature, right? So
Hmm.
for me, the
Hmm.
track goes boom, next track, and then I start scratching. So it has happened with me so many times. In my head, the track is loaded on the right CDJ, so all the
Hmm.
cue points are from the track that is playing. But the
Hmm.
moment I press the first hot cue, it's the previous track that I have played.
Previous track. Yeah. So that's
So
that one setting.
yeah, it's very, very, very important for all the DJs who are looking at this workshop, and they use this. This particular feature is very, very important. So basically, um um, what happens is that in this your cue points get loaded automatically the moment you plug in your track. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you have to
the
recall them.
second, yeah, the second you load the track. I mean, the I mean, in a way, it's useful. Like if you're using, the previous system, like what you were talking about, right? Like where
Yeah.
the hotkeys are actually from your previous track. There's
Yes. Yes.
actually a
Yes.
very cool way to use that as a function as well. People will ask, why do you want to set it up like that? But let's say for hip hop, I mean, I don't see it so much in like techno and this kind of sound that I'm playing. But in hip
Uh,
hop and open format, it's definitely more useful. So what you could do is, let's say you have only two decks, right? And you're playing with both decks. So you can actually turn on your slip mode,
yeah.
okay, and
Oh,
slip mode and hot cue,
bro, I'm gonna so do this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. That's a very,
swap
very
back,
good one.
yeah.
Good one. Good
So
one. Good one.
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's an
And
advanced it's an advanced function that most people will sort of like get
hmm,
confused with. So, um, but
wow.
it's there. It's
Very,
very
very nice.
useful. Yeah,
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It's a great tip. Like
yeah,
now I'm thinking of a lot of routines in my head. Nice.
yeah,
Library. So this is what is this? Create.
yeah. I mean, this is just leave it on Ctj Xtj because the other two are basically defunct. They use a
And
very old
okay. So
delete
do you
playlist. If that's again a personal preference. Like if you want to delete the tracks from your drive when you delete the playlist, then you have that setting on. It saves you space, but
ah
always make sure that you have a backup of all of your music on your computer.
hmm, cool.
Yeah,
So
and this
yeah
this again the last one, the history, the importing
yeah
the history. This is something that
ah,
I do very religiously. So every time I plug my drive into my laptop, it imports all the playlists that I have. So I literally have every single gig that I did from
yeah.
2010 till 2021. I have the history for every single gig that I've played,
So this
and I just
database
say,
is drives basically,
yeah,
or
so it basically imports it into, if you look on the bottom left, it says histories, right? So
yeah, yeah,
every
that I
month that
know.
you
But
plug,
then if you
yeah.
go
So
from five to six,
what I do is once I find out, okay, I've done two gigs this weekend. So on Monday or Tuesday when I come home, I plug the drive in and I have two playlists from my two gigs, and then I save it as a playlist. I save the history as a playlist and rename it
ah,
into
nice.
whichever venue I played at, and
Hmm.
I have it. So what that allows me to do is it allows me to go back and look at my history and say, okay, the first 1 hour of this gig was really great. The second hour didn't work so well. Some of these tracks didn't flow well, or some of these tracks really didn't work at all. So
Ah,
it allows me to get better the next week, by analyzing what I've
yeah,
done. So
yeah.
sometimes also you play the same tracks that you played from in your history, but you can change the order. You can say, okay, these two didn't flow well, maybe it has to be the other way around. So it's a good way for you to improve and constantly further yourself musically, and so that you stop being monotonous as well, because you have your history and you know what's been played.
Hmm. Correct. Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. Cool. So that's about it when it comes to export mode. We can talk about the how to work with the playlists and stuff like that. Any other questions are there, or guys, if you have any questions regarding your settings, how do you want to set up your CDJs? Tuvin has showed us some really cool tips and tricks. About how to go about setting up your CDJs and basically playing around with things, being prepared before the gig starts, which is the most important thing. Um, yeah. So for now, there are no comments. Are there any comments on YouTube? Doing you're muted.
like It's super important because there are so many, like right now we just basically talking about the very basic features, and like Goose has just said, smart playlists. Now smart playlists or intelligent playlists, that's again a super time saver, and it's extremely, how do I say, powerful. It's like you set rules, like if, for example, like if I want all techno that I have tagged as dark over 130 BPM. I can have and has 5-star ratings that I've put. I can set these rules saying every track which has a 5-star
Yeah,
rating that's over 130 BPM and is tagged with dark, put it in a separate playlist, right?
you
So
just do
that
it.
way, yeah. So I have things like, like what I call like secret weapons, which I know these tracks are always going to blow the dance floor away. So automatically that just starts creating these master playlists
Yeah,
on my record box. And what I do is I have a backup drive which has only those playlists. So even if I don't have, my other playlists, this has got my master playlist, which basically is all I'll need to keep a party going.
yeah, correct, correct, correct. I understand that. So now, you want me to let me just show you the show them the feature also. So for example, I have this. I'll just add on ratings in this. Uh, where is rating?
Fourth, fifth one from the left, bro, above track title.
Yeah. So now let's say I have for me Rachna's track is pretty pretty good. Say hi to Rachna also from my side.
Hello.
And then there is Regiment Calling. I think is a great track. So I have these two tracks which are really good. So for now, let's say I want to create a playlist and I want to create a smart playlist. So sorry, I'll just delete this. Right click and I do create an
Intelligent
intelligent
playlist.
playlist. So now I'm going to call it 5 stars because 5 stars, and I'm going to add condition to it. So in this, one condition would be because I've added rating. So ratings, and ratings go to 5, and now all the tracks that will have 5-star rating would show in this. So two tracks which had 5-star rating are shown here. And the best part about these is it keeps updating itself. So I personally feel
Oh,
that is the best. It's like you have done your list will keep upgrading, or
yeah,
it'll just keep updating itself automatically because it is taking the data from the main collection which is over here.
yeah.
So I feel it's a great
Also,
feature.
Skip, just show them how you can add a comment to one of these tracks.
Okay, so it's very easy. It's like how you're. I'll just okay.
Enable comments. It's below genre.
Yeah, it's okay. So now, let's say I want to take off. I want to show things more. No?
Huh.
So here, let's say I don't want to see the artist name. Shout out to Mani and Ajmal. So here, add comments. So great. And here I can just click on this is Ajmal's branding. See, it's put his name in all the comments. So here you can just click on it, and it'll show you
What's there?
Manny and Ajmal has done full branding in this.
Yeah,
So
it's very smart. It's very
very
smart. It's
smart,
very
yeah.
old school, but very smart.
Submerge, oh shit, everything. Okay,
Hmm.
so now here I can say killer track, right?
Hmm.
So killer here, and let's have one more killer track. So double click on this, single click, sorry, and I'll say killer here also. So now I've got two tracks which are killer tracks. I can go here. I can create another playlist, create intelligent playlist, and here I can actually have comments, and comments is equal to killer. Oh, sorry, KLLER. And now it'll show me the tracks which have the comment which is killer. So you can see comments, comment says killer. All the killer tracks will be shown in one go, which I feel is is too good, man. Like this is it
Yeah,
saves so much time, bro.
I mean, a lot of people ask me why Rekordbox and stuff. Rekordbox is a music management solution for DJs where
And it's on a different
you
level
don't have
altogether.
to, yeah, and there are no rules, right? Each of us
Yeah.
has a different way of organizing and sorting
Yeah.
our music. So
Nobody's gonna
you don't have
name it
walls.
killer.
Yeah, you can set up your Rekordbox database exactly how you want to. There are no
Yeah.
rules. So it's a very flexible piece of software that everybody should get into it. Even if you're a new DJ, this is the best time to actually download it. It's free and start organizing all of your music.
Yeah. So now let's just talk about intelligent playlist, which is basically over here. So sorry, relative playlist, relative tracks. So on the right side, when you click on this, you get these things, which is called, these are the relative tracks. So let's say if I'm using this, and now you can actually add conditions to this, exactly how you can add conditions to the intelligent playlist. This is a playlist which is being generated by the computer, and as per our preferences, it's going to change the tracks. So uh, for example, let's say over here, when you go to the settings, these are the mm, conditions that you can put, and these conditions are gonna tell us, okay, this track will work with this track will work with that. So if I take off the key, you can see all these tracks which are plus minus 5 bpm range will work with this track. Now the moment I change this, the number changes. So let's take 123, uh, at least. Okay, let's just change it to 5 to 2. So if I make it 2, now
Put
see
it
what happens.
1%.
One will be the same track. Two में थोड़ा difference आएगा. So the moment I change it to 2, also wait, I have to tell which track to choose. So yeah, this is okay. All 5 formats, perfect. Now let's say 120. The moment I click on 120, yeah, I have to put it 2 only, man, because 122 plus 2 is 123. 1. Okay. So yeah, so now you see the tracks change as per the list, as per the track. So now let's say if I have a track which is 120 bpm, it's going to show me tracks which are at 120 bpm. If I click on a track which is at 123 bpm, on the right it's going to show me the tracks which are at 123 bpm. So this is how it's going to work when I'm playing on export mode. When I'm playing with the cdjs linked with export mode, I use this feature a lot, and I put it on master. So with master, what happens is whichever cdj is on the master will it will show me the relative tracks of that track which is on master, right? So this is how the intelligent playlist works, right? Any questions regarding this? Let me see. Goose has been super active in this. I'm happy, and we have 27 people still interested in the Rekordbox, which is really really nice to see. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask now, or you have any comments that you want to give, you can do right now. Also, please share this as much as possible so that we get more questions and comments, which we can talk about. All right. Anything else, Tuin, you want to add on to this? Do you
No,
want to talk
I
about
think
the this feature, the light feature? So there's this green
li-
light feature basically,
ah,
which is exactly like this, but you don't have in this. I have conditions. Here it is showing me what key will work with what track. So the moment, welcome back, Nishank. So the moment I click on this, all the green tracks are the tracks which will be relative, which will work well with the track that is the master, or which is on player A. In this case scenario, you can change it to master also. This is a traffic light feature. This was there in 5 also. I feel it's a very very cool feature. And then you have, I can always talk about this again and again, the whole idea of having more playlists with you. So this basically changes the game on a different level altogether. So
Yeah,
you
and the
have,
thing is now you get this green light thing even on the CDJs, the 3000s.
oh, very
Yeah.
nice. So let's say I have this 5-star playlist. I can drag it over here, and the untitled this one. So basically, what happens is I have one, two, three, four, five playlists in front of me, and I can just keep changing however I want to change. So very cool. And I have this is like a preset, so I can have one, two, three presets of the same thing. So I have one, two, three, 4 plus 4. 12 3 for the 12 playlist, and then I have the tag list is again a super duper feature. You can just tag a track. So what I do is I usually make a shortcut, and now if you want to make a shortcut, you can just go here and go to keyboard and create a shortcut for the tag list, and then any track that I want to put here, I can just click on I just click the shortcut, and then this track comes on top, basically like this. Right click, add to tag list, this track comes on top. Same way, you can just, instead of doing the right click and add to tag list, you can just click on create a shortcut. I can just show you that as well. So for example, keyboard, general, player A.
While we're doing this, let's guys, record box cannot be taught in an entire day. So let's
Yeah,
continue this till till close
yeah.
to
So
8 o'clock.
let's just
Close
finish
to eight
this.
o'clock. 8 o'clock will be our deadline. Let's try and wind
Hmm.
this
No,
up
no, what I'm
before.
thinking is, let's just finish it here because we already 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's a long time. What we can do is we
Yeah,
can create this as the, we can take a break here. So basically, next session, whenever we'll progress from there itself. So anyone,
We can do one tomorrow if you guys are okay. Otherwise, whenever you have uh, time for it.
yeah.
yeah. So
Let's just give it like
mm,
2 days. I
uh,
think.
you can host it. I'll be unavailable, but it can be
Yeah.
done. Why not?
No, but I'm thinking that let's just give it 2 days for people to absorb this much information, and you know
Yeah.
do another one in a few days. Anyways, so what you can do is you can add shortcuts from here. So let me just see where that thing is, the add to tag list. Hmm. You can actually create shortcuts for loading the track on the decks as well. Sorry guys, I have not done this in a long time, so that's why.
That's okay, bro.
It should
Garth is
be.
actually, sitting in front of his
I see
laptop
that.
and watching the stream as he's doing it.
Yeah.
Dedication max.
It's the best. That's the best way to do it actually.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm not able to see. Anyways, it's here only. I'm not able to see the thing. It should be in browser, or let me just go through it. Player B is the same. But, ah, I'm not able to find it. Anyways, so the idea is basically you create a shortcut to this, and you click the software to click the shortcut, and you you get the track on the tag list. And this is the fastest way to create a playlist just before the setup, just before the gig. And you can just create a new playlist out of this. So create a new playlist, and then select these tracks, shift, and then drag drop. You've got a new playlist of whatever tag list, just like how Tuhin does the history. So pretty much the same thing. The best part about these things is that you can create a playlist out of anything. So it really does make a lot of difference. When it comes to playlist management, I personally feel that, dude, like nothing comes close. Like definitely, like probably the best software when it comes to this. Take off as
All
much
right,
branding.
so let's go.
Yeah, we can cover other things in the next one. I think in the
Awesome.
next one we would be covering the performance mode and all the questions regarding the performance mode. It will be really helpful if Tuhin can come with the Ctj 3000 as well, so we can see them in action with
Yeah, then let's
the
do it sometime next week after Wednesday.
हाँ तो
yeah.
अगर कल करना है then let's do the record box. But if 3000 we can do next week as well.
Hmm.
I think if the unit is in front. Okay, so tomorrow we'll do the this one XP1, so XP2 and XP1
Killer.
integration,
Yeah.
so we can show that for
Heslin,
sure.
you're welcome, bro. Heslin Silver.
So we can for tomorrow we can do or whatever we can do. The next one can
Goose has
be
suggestions. Goose says maybe track preparation with cue points, etc. would do gridding as well.
yeah.
So
It's a long. Again, it's gonna be
I
a long one.
literally, I literally prepare my tracks in less than a minute.
You do, bro, but then for people to teach people that it's gonna take a long
Huh,
one.
it takes some practice because I have
Yeah.
a fixed, you know, क्या कहते हैं
Let's do
walkthrough or
we'll do grid and everything tomorrow, and it's
hmm.
basically exploring record box export mode a little more, and yeah, I think that'll be good. And maybe
Awesome.
the topic for tomorrow can be grading and uh, track preparation. That should be the setup, because then Tuhin can give
Killer.
his inputs on how he's doing his this thing, how you are setting up your tracks, and then I can show my side of you know hip hop and whatever you do when you're using like
Hmm.
170 BPM tracks and all that stuff, drum and bass and stuff like that.
Killer. So, guys,
Sounds good.
as you know, these videos will be available to watch later on as well on our channel, on our YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. It will really help us reach more and more people. And
Yeah,
our main purpose is not to sell over here, right? We are into the business of teaching online. We are not selling you anything. So, yeah,
we're not in business, we're just teaching
share
online.
like, subscribe, like every other influencer says, but we actually mean it. And it will only
Actually, what
help
I'm
you guys.
saying is that, like for example, Goose has got the 200. Let's take a poll on the DJs who are here right now, and what all gear they have and what all gear they use, and maybe we can just talk about how they can make the most of the stuff they have. You know, how you can.
Alternatively, we can ask them to drop a message in the inbox,
Yeah,
and we can
totally.
discuss this offline as well. Because right
Yes,
now,
yes. Okay.
there are not enough DJs. That we have only 23 viewers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's guys just message us and how you would like us to personalize this around you.
I'm gonna put up my
Uh,
Instagram as well just to get the topics, proper topics, and then we'll cover this.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else, thank you
Ladies
so
and
much
ladies.
for sticking around. Well, I'm being politically correct because you have to respect everybody. Um, so if you joined us from beginning till the end, or if you joined us in the middle and are still around, thank you so much. It will be helpful if you hit that share button. It increases organic reach of the page. And tomorrow we'll just update it on the page tomorrow morning as to what time we are going live. Yeah, otherwise, most of you are very regular and you follow us, and for which we can't thank you enough. And hope to see you soon. Hope this plays out and we'll see you in person. So that's me signing off. I'll leave it up to Tuhin
Live
and Skip.
long and prosper.
Yes.
I've been
Stay safe,
seeing
guys.
Star Trek right now, like straight up, like bro. I'm watching the animation. It is so cool, man. The old shit is next
The
level.
Origins is the best.
No, no, the first one, the animation. It is
Yeah,
next level.
yeah,
The
but
second
I'm just telling
one-
you. Animation is also kick ass. Aight,
Cheers,
See you
guys.
see
guys.
you.
See you.
Bye.